Look how cute this little pocket flower holder came out, and you're not going to believe what I used to make this with. Wait till you see. I love creating projects like this. They're not difficult and they're lots of fun. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Decoupage D.I.Y. with Joan-Marie Domino. Give me a thumbs up, share with your friends, and don't forget to go over and like and follow my Facebook page. Now let's get started. This is so cute. I started with a wooden plank. I got that from the Dollar Tree, and that's just an ordinary cardboard roll. The planks, I believe, come 6 in a package, so it's a great deal from the Dollar Tree. And the first thing I did is I put on some color paint. I used a couple different colors. Now, I have to give you a heads up about the wood that comes from the Dollar Tree. Sometimes when you're painting it, it starts to swell, and it almost feels like there's almost like splinters across the top. So just want you to be aware of that before you rub it like I just did. So I went ahead and I used several different color paints because I wasn't quite getting what I wanted the first couple times I painted. I waited for it to dry and I was like, no, it's not quite what I want. So I ended up going in with the third color, which I just kind of sloppy put it on, had a little bit more tan in it, and I let it dry. Take a look, so pretty. Okay, now that that's dry, we can go ahead and start to paint the cardboard roll. And I'm using chalk paint, but you can use any paint that you want. I don't have to paint the entire tube because I'm not going to make it that long. I'm going to cut it down to size. And because I'm using chalk paint, I'm only going to need one coat, which is great. Don't have to go back in. And again, cardboard might swell too. So I'm going to put that off to dry. My cardboard tube is now dry, and I'm going to cut it to approximately the size that I want. That's why I didn't paint the whole thing. So this is just an ordinary scissor, and I'm just going to go around the best I can, and I got very lucky. Look at that. Okay, now the magic. I'm going to squish and smush the bottom of the tube, as you can see. And what happened? I created this cute little pocket. Look at that. And now I could put some flowers. That was so easy. All right, the next thing I want to do is I want to seal the bottom, where I smushed it. And I'm just using a little bit of hot glue. You could actually even use a stapler if you want. I just decided to go with the glue. And I'm just going to squeeze it together and wait for the glue to set. Okay, now that the glue is set, we can go ahead and start to put this beautiful napkin on. Remember, with decoupage, we only use that top layer. So I'm going to take some Mod Podge. I put it into a little container because I buy big containers. And I'm going to put it all over the cardboard tube, just like that. Give it a good coat. Now take my napkin and I'm going to line it up the best I can where I want it, and that looks really good. So I'm just going to put it there and I'm going to use my fingers to smooth it down until it's completely adhered to the front. And when I'm done, I'm going to go ahead right away and put a top coat of Mod Podge. And then when I'm all done, I'm going to put that off to dry. Now that it's dry, I can go ahead and do the back. I just flipped it over and I took some Mod Podge and I just kind of put it there, tucked it under the napkin, then just flipped the napkin over and put a little bit more Mod Podge on top. And I basically did the same thing on the other side, and then I just cut off that little extra piece that's hanging there. Now for the top part that's sticking up, that extra napkin, what I went ahead and did is tucked it into the tube like that. It gave it a nice finish up on top of the tube. Now I'm going to line up where I want the little tube to go, my little pocket, and I'm going to adhere it onto the plank with some hot glue. That should definitely be adequate to keep it in place. So I put it where I want, not right down to the bottom, and I put my fingers inside because I want to make sure it's really well adhered. So let's take a look at that. It's really a cute little pocket. Definitely an easy project, as you can see. Very impressive too that that's a cardboard tube. I added a little piece of florist foam, and I did that because I am going to be adding some florals, and I wanted to make sure they were going to stay in there. And I went through all my scraps, and this is what I came up with. These were all just little pieces of flowers, little leftover pieces that I put in there, and I loved the way it came out. It's so pretty. However, I did decide I got to add a little something on the bottom, so I just took my hot glue and a little bit of this like burlappy mesh pink ribbon, and I put that along the bottom, and I tucked it around and I glued it, and I absolutely love how this came out. I mean, you would never know that this was cardboard. It's just so cute, and this is not my idea. I have seen these floating around in different places on the internet. And if you don't want to go ahead and smush the metal cans, boy, this is a really good alternative. Plus, they're cute because they're small. I hope you enjoyed this project. I have many more like this. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Decoupage D.I.Y. with Joan-Marie Domino. Give me a thumbs up. Share it with your friends, all of your crafting friends, and drop a comment. And don't forget, follow me on Facebook.